Good morning, everybody. It's a little early for me. Can you guys see the clock, or can I just tell you guys what time it is? I don't even know how that works anymore. Anyways, it's pretty early for me, but I got a really special treat ahead of me for today. The boys over at Detroit Speed, specifically my buddy Alex, they've invited me over to their shop in North Carolina, which it's not very far. It's about 4.5 hours. But they invited me over to the shop, and they want me to come and check it out, pick up some cool parts for the Camaro, and we have a lot of cool stuff ahead of us. So I've got my travel supplies. But it's cold, so I'm gonna do my little push to start. Got my breakfast food, some gas station taquitos, and a coconut Red Bull. If you guys like Red Bull but you haven't tried the coconut one, y'all sleeping on it. It's fucking delicious. All right, we're on the road. There's the road, in case you didn't believe me. So if you guys don't know who Detroit Speed is, if you're not in the automotive industry, and honestly, I really am not much myself. Like, I'm pretty much new to the automotive industry as an influencer, I guess. Get your Jake brake on. Like, I've been in the motorcycle industry now for, hell, it's going on 6 years. And I also, I'm supposed to take 33B, is this it, 33B? Whoop, I'm gonna do this. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I apologize to everyone around me. I'm so sorry. Just did the douchiest fucking, you guys, I just did the douchiest fucking thing I've ever done on the highway. I always yell at people, they're like, is this my exit? Is this my exit? No, this is not my exit. And they jump across fucking 3 lanes. I just scream the whole time, I'm so sorry, forgive me. I'm the worst thing in the world. I'm literally the worst person in the world right now. I apologize to everybody profusely. I'm gonna get away from everybody. I'm gonna say I'm sorry. But circling all the way back, I met a guy through Justin. His name is Garrett. He runs American Muscle HD, that really big muscle page on Instagram. Garrett's been cool with me, and I reached out to him asking if he knew anybody who might be interested in helping out with the 73 build, and he put me in contact with this guy named Alex over at Detroit Speed. And Alex has been an absolute pleasure to work with, man. He's just like, he's super chill, and the cool part is that he actually watched the channel a long time back in the day when obviously I was doing mostly motorcycle stuff, so he kind of knew me a little bit, and he's been really fucking awesome to work with. And then he put me in contact with people at Holly and all these other places, and GearFX, the people who I think I'm also going to go see them today as well. They make differentials and all this other good stuff, so they're also making me a rear end for the Camaro. I think they're making me a 12 bolt that's good for a couple hundred horsepower, 500 or 600 horsepower, something like that. Anyway, now you know the scope of things, why I'm gonna go do it. It's pretty unreal for me that I get to like go and hang out and work with the brands that I've always wanted to work with as a kid. Like, I can remember seeing Detroit Speed parts and Holly Performance carburetors as a kid, being like, oh man, one day that's gonna be me. And you know, here I am. It's pretty cool. And I'm sure you probably thought that, like, by now, I think it's been about 2 weeks since I got back. I think exactly 2 weeks since I got back from Vegas. Something like that. You think I'd be recovered, I'd be good to go on this trip. I want to be at home right now, preferably with no pants on. Shit. Look at this. They got the sign. This is cool. Detroit Speed Inc. That's cool. What do you bet this is Alex's Harley? Is this Alex's? Harley Davidson. Ooh wee! I don't know where to park. Hopefully this is cool with everybody. Yeah, I guess we're gonna find out. I've never been here. Well, I guess I could have parked in the visitor spot. Dude, this is strange, man. I've been talking to you for how long? For a couple months now, probably.
A few months or so.
Yes, meet you in person, man.
Garrett did that intro.
This is Alex, by the way. He's my contact here over at Detroit Speed. He's been nothing but helpful to me, and he's gonna show me this thing over here, which I saw pulling up, and I was trying not to freak out. Also, is that your Harley?
That is my Harley.
Man, I called it. I figured. I like it how you kept the bumper, the solid bumper.
Everyone
does split bumper.
We figured since you're building the 73. We'll give you a ride in the second gen.
Oh man.
Let you see how it feels, because this is
yo. So are these all custom, these inner fenders?
Yes, so this actually, it's still a steel fender. We did fender flares on it just so we could fit a wider tire in the front, and then these are aluminum, custom aluminum inner fenders that we made. So it's a 315 in the front and a 335 in the rear.
That's insane. That's what I'm running on my ZL1. Well, 345 in the rear, but I mean, essentially the same.
Essentially the same thing.
Is it 12-inch in the rear? I'm assuming 12-inch wide.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So you could run a 345, but what are these 20s or 19s?
These are 18s.
Oh, dude.
18s on everything, just because BF Goodrich, the Rival S tire, that's the best size you can get for it.
Yeah.
So an 18 with a 315 or 335.
Yeah, those are low profile. The R888s are just they're too much. They're really aggressive.
It's a 200 tread wear tire, so it's the best of both worlds.
Street and pro touring.
Exactly.
Dude, this is so cool. Been thinking really hardcore. I saw this, right? Y'all's rear diffuser spoiler, whatever it's technically called. But I've been looking at this, and I'm like, dude, I could make one of these.
Yeah, and we made it in house.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna try to do.
There's just aluminum panels, just kind of make a nice transition, and then extend that up.
That's exactly.
So it's a nice wicker build, because we do a lot of autocross with it, where you want just a little bit of drag and kind of help out, keep it planted in the rear.
This is so gnarly. I was even thinking about doing the black paneling on the back, but I was gonna paint match the bumper. So in the rear here, all you guys did was use your tub kit in the rear. You guys didn't have to do fender flares.
What we have here is our rear mini tub kit and our Quadra-Link, so it's a 4-link suspension system. What you're getting is the leaf spring suspension kit, but it's still the same tubs. You're gonna have your shop cross member you have to weld in, so you could fit a 335. I
just like how aggressive, how deep these are, right? And I don't necessarily need something that aggressive up front. I don't need a 315, but if I get a similar look, fender flares, I'm assuming, did you guys make those in house too?
Yeah, we made that.
And you have the carbon fiber hood, because the hood weighs like 60, no, it weighs like 100 pounds. It's gotta.
Pretty heavy.
I picked that thing up by myself, and this is gross, but how I picked it up by myself is I put the tip right here in my belt loop and just was like, oh, I guess I'll carry it.
So this is a Mass Motorsports Black Label LS7. It has a few modifications to it. Rather than the standard LS block, it's a dart block.
Yeah.
The LS Next. So I believe at the crank,
probably 7+.
It's somewhere in that range. It's making a little over 6 to the wheels.
Oh yeah, out of an LS7. So LS7, but it's NA. You're making 600 some odd wheel horsepower with an NA 7 liter.
Yep.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
what's that torque curve? That torque curve's got to be just so linear.
It is very linear. It's so well dialed in. I mean, we drove this car. Kyle drove it from here all across the country, ended up in Texas, and then autocrossed it all weekend.
Just drove, so it's super reliable and
extremely reliable.
Probably pretty comfortable.
And we get anywhere from 18, 20 miles per gallon. It's decent on the highway. 18
to 20 on the highway? Jesus, that's ridiculous.
We have a car up the hill, that's also our building. We have another car up there, our 3rd gen. It's a D-stroked LS7. And it makes 736 at the crank NA.
D-stroked.
So it's a shorter stroke. So it's a 388 cubic inch LS7.
Whoa!
It revs to 85.
I was gonna say it's gotta be way past like 7,500. Holy shit! I've got the whole front end coming. They're making the first non-RS front end in the world for me.
I saw you posted
so I'm super excited.
Awesome.
Because I like this front end. I purposely got this front end because it's my favorite front end. I hate the RS. I hate the double headlight. And that was such a hard thing for me to fight because everyone wants to do the RS conversion and I don't.
It still has dual headlights. It's crazy.
I was seeing how you guys mounted the that tow hook.
Yeah. Yeah, so that just
goes right through the frame.
Goes right through the frame. That's it.
What about the Harley Davidson daily page?
We could shout.
You want to do the Harley Davidson daily?
We'll do that.
Vance and Hines, those are beautiful.
Well, that's all going away.
What are you doing? You changing your setup already?
Well, not already. I mean, I've had the bike December of last year. I got it. This is the bike for that page, essentially.
Like your build page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what the end goal for the page is going to be. Like, I'm building a bike on that page. It's kind of like my build documentary of it, I guess you could say. So the engine, I mean, right now it's just a stock 103. The only thing it's done
just a stock 103. Like the 103 isn't just a powerhouse of a motor.
I mean, it is, but now you're looking at guys that, you know, they have the Milwaukee 8. You can get a bike with a 114 stock.
Those are huge too, but
are.
I like the Milwaukee motors in general, but I don't think there's enough longevity in them to be like, oh, they're great. Like the Evo motor lasted for so long. It's such a killer motor.
I mean, I know Milwaukee 8's still a new platform, but I mean, I've seen a lot of guys make a ton of power and still have that reliability. I think it's going to be a successful platform.
Yeah.
This is what every Dyna bro goes to. Like when I don't know how to word it. It's like you have your quintessential Harley guy that's like, You know, I just bought a pack of Affliction t-shirts.
You got it set up for wheelies, don't you?
Eventually.
That's why your suspension's so tall.
So yeah, this is we actually use JRI shocks here for everything.
Yeah.
So they also make Harley shocks.
That's
so
nice.
It's a 13-inch adjustable, so you can just change your rebound settings there. There's 40 clicks of adjustment in it.
That's insane. On-the-fly adjustments like that for a motorcycle is impressive.
So you can make your preload adjustments. So we dialed in the preload.
A little bit of room. Yeah, you still got to give it a bounce. Does it?
You got to bounce it up. I mean, that's if you dump the clutch, it'll bring the front wheel up, but like not a whole lot.
Just enough to be like, it can happen, and then that's when you have to like work for it.
You really need to just yank back on it.
Put some pegs back here, you know. Put a peg back there and
just
stand
on it.
Well, you can follow his build here in the link or whatever somewhere to give us like a point.
This is Kyle's like, it's like a toy
fantasy shop. This thing is so freaking gnarly. They drive it like they stole it. They beat the brakes off the thing. This is my next Camaro. So I have the Z01, I'll have the 73, and then I'll have the IROC. That's my lineup. Don't worry, I wasn't planning on stealing it or anything like that.
That building eventually bought this building, and he moved all of his toys up here, because like all of this, it was the 70, a couple other cars, they were all in that shop.
See, these are like Detroit speed cars.
These are Detroit speed cars. They're his toys, but they're shop vehicles. You know, we use them for R&D. They're pretty much all test bed for our products. So that has our full line of 3rd gen products.
By the way, that's my next build.
So 3rd gen. Yeah. You need a 1st gen, you need a 4th gen.
No, I don't want a 1st gen, and I don't.
All of them. All
I just like the years that I like. I've got a buddy that I follow who's got almost the exact same setup, but he's got the red ZL1, then he's got a red 70 to 73. I don't remember what it is, and that thing is mint. And then he's also got the Catfish, the 4th gens, and I can't fucking stand those cars.
We actually have one here.
Oh well, keep it covered.
It's under a cover.
Yeah, keep it covered.
Yeah. This is our test bed for square body C10. This car right here actually is not our car.
This 1st gen?
Yeah, we're holding it for a friend.
69, 68?
69. So it's a 69 Camaro. Believe it or not, this is the car that started the Pro Touring movement.
This is the car.
This is the car. This was in the Lingenfelter booth. So yeah, a friend of ours that lives in town, he bought this car. And it's crazy that it ended up here. Man, we're just storing it until he gets back. He went to that car show in Saudi Arabia. We are holding the car for him, but this is the one that started it. Kyle and Mark Stilo, they drove this in one lap of America in '93, I think it was. We're just holding on to it right now. He's eventually gonna throw some of our stuff on it, some Detroit speed suspension, but not change it up too much. Yeah, so we're just holding on to that one. That 65 Mustang. This is a leaf spring car.
Oh my God, it looks all OG. No, it doesn't. There we go. There we go. It's got the fucking slotted and drilled rotors.
Spare brakes all around. I mean, you can't really call it a survivor car because we
Detroit speeded all up.
So.
Holy shit. Yo, what you want for this thing? It's like a $20,000, $30,000 toolbox.
I will tell you, there is a company down the street that makes these. They make them for NASCAR teams, and that's where we got it.
You've got your compressor hookups.
These are actually, they're hoses. You can pull them out.
Oh, what? And then are these? Yep, they are.
Electrical outlet. Because, you know, we run nitrogen in all of our tires.
I thought that was a taser. I got so excited.
No, that taser in here. It's got the brake locked on it.
That's too much work.
It's got brakes. That's how you know
it's got like legitimate brakes.
It has disc brake, you know.
What? Like a bicycle? Oh my God. Oh, I do. It's got a reservoir. That's ridiculous.
It's well-wood brakes. Felt how heavy this
thing
is?
Yeah.
You need it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It weighs as much as the car, essentially.
Oh my God, look at
everything.
Dude, this is so good. I want to know where I can find a magical setup like this. I need so much of this. Just start shoving bolts in my pocket on my way out. Do you have what about AN fittings?
Yeah.
What? No.
And then a wiring cabinet over here.
Nobody around me sells these. I have to order them no matter what.
Yeah, this is all Earls. So we work with Earls, and they're one right behind it.
Oh, and this one? That's the brake reservoir that I was assuming you're letting me open that. Yeah. Yeah.
All of this. Call Keith.
Call Keith.
Earls it's a Holly brand.
Yeah, that's
where we get
where I got my fuel pressure regulator from. This is just such a I need to step away from here. I'm getting hot flashes.
So it's assorted colors, assorted gauges.
Wait, no, is this heat shrink?
Yes.
So, oh my God, by the roll.
Shop's electrical cart. You should see the one down the hill for the project cars.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, we get to take the sweet square body. I'll give a couple pumps.
Got it, man.
Oh, it's still got the factory motor?
Yes.
Oh no!
We've got a 383, I think, for it.
Dang, there's a lot of room over here, man.
Nice.
Woo! Listen to that baby bog down.
This has our full suspension on it. So it's a rack and pinion style front suspension, 4-link rear suspension. Dude, it handles amazing.
Okay, so the only thing that's done is this wheels and suspension.
Yeah, wheels and suspension, that's it.
Dang, brother. You could totally fit an engine and 2-speed transmission between like the cab.
Take it all wheel drive.
Or you could just like literal mid-engine. This thing do mad skids or?
This? No.
Jeez.
It's a Corvette back cab. So this is a C3 or C2, C3 frame. So we pretty much just chop the frame. This is our Decalink rear suspension kit.
That looks so complicated.
Yeah, it's a 10-link suspension.
10-link IRS.
So we pretty much just chop the back of the C10 off.
Man,
source the frame, chop the frame.
Look at these dimes. You'll just connect the two and then that'll be that?
So he used a piece of cardboard to shape it up.
Yeah,
figure out how he's gonna do it.
Cardboard assisted design?
Cardboard assisted design.
CAD.
He mocked it up, now he's gonna make it work. Find a way to stitch it together.
I can't imagine having to be like, I guess I'll just invent a 10-link suspension and then having to adjust it.
See, that's a, it's not horrible. Pretty much all he did is he measured the center line of the rear axle on the C10 and just chopped it up and made it match so it'll still have the same wheelbase.
The center line, you mean the axle, like where it goes?
Yeah, the center line of the axle.
I see he's got this this drop spindle looking thing here. Okay, so it looks like it goes over from there and hangs down, and that shows him, I guess, right where it starts.
Exactly.
That's so cool. I'm gonna remember that forever. Does he have one over here? He does have one over here. And then he's just got it tacked up to the frame
Yeah,
jig.
just holding it up so it doesn't move. We just got it in place so everything's level.
So you said this whole rear end is from a Corvette?
Yeah, this right here, this is off of a Corvette.
Oh, I love the way this room smells. It smells so chemically and dangerous. Oh wow, look at this custom center console. It's so clean.
So yeah, the cool part about this center console, this thing right, if you're racing, you can go ahead and pull that out and then you have access to the wiring harness and some stuff.
Oh, nice.
AP racing brakes, high-end stuff, J-hook rotors.
Holly, I've heard of that company before.
They're pretty cool guys. We use them every now and then.
They're pretty all right.
The goal for this car was pretty much he wanted something that he could still drive on the street, but go and race it as well.
It looks like it can do both.
335, 315. It has 2 wheel and tire packages. This is the 18-inch wheel package. We also have a 19-inch wheel package, and that has a Kumo Exta ACR, like the Dodge Viper tire.
Yeah, the 355s or whatever.
Yeah, so it's a 355 rear and then a 305 front.
Show me this Yanko.
Yeah. So it's not an actual Yanko.
Right, they never are.
So
but
this belongs to Kyle's cousin. It's a 572 big block, 6-speed, 4.9-inch. It's pretty much what we call a catalog car. Usually we'll do an LS and T56, but he's old school. He wanted a big block. So
I don't blame him, dude. What'd you say, five what?
572.
572, that's huge.
572 crate engine.
That's almost like, what, 8 liters?
I don't even know. Exactly.
Yeah, no, not regular displacement. Who knows? Dynamite, everything.
Yeah. We Dynamet every car. We'll even do, some cars will do the roof. This one we didn't. We just ran it so we can tuck the wiring harness up in there. This is the first time we've seen one of these on an engine in a long time.
Yeah, just an old school carburetor. Now, is this what I think it is down here? Are these the exhaust?
It is side plates.
What?
So
and you got this little cover over it?
So this is a 65 Riviera. That is actually the Hooker Attitude cutouts that Holly sells. So this car has a full exhaust that goes all the way at the back with mufflers, but then it also has cutouts for side pipes.
Dude, that is a sweet setup. I've been trying to decide where I want my exhaust to come out for like weeks.
So this is a real Boss 302 car.
Oh my God. You keep the 302 or is it?
It's a one-off engine. It's a 406 cubic inch 32 valve.
Oh yeah, Boss 406.
With Kyle and cars off.
Oh no. Oh no,
it's cold, so it's okay.
Let me get a cold start maybe. I'm riding with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Jeez. Do I need these?
No, you're fine. Just put
Oh, as you put yours on,
Just
okay.
flat belt. We won't get crazy.
There's a rule about believing that from someone who owns one of the best, if not the best, aftermarket performance companies in the world. By the way, this is the owner of Detroit Speedway. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Kyle. Thanks for coming by Detroit Speed, Dan, and we're gonna go check out Gearhead.
Thanks for having me. He said, oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God, that's so fucking cool. So I can't help but notice that you got a really nice, what year is this?
70.
70, okay. I know there's small differences between the 70s and 73s.
A lot of people like the 70 split bumper, right? That's the most, I guess, popular. I've always liked the standard bumper, the straight one-piece front bumper, just because it's kind of like the poor guy's car. And Jim Hall from Chaparral Racing back in the Trans Am days campaigned the white and blue stripe standard bumper car, and I just loved it since then.
Now, if you guys didn't know, he also used to be an engineer at General Motors, and they wanted him to come back, and he's like, no, I'm gonna build my own business. Like the shop and the knowledge and the technology that you've built over the years, man.
It's been fun. You know, we've got a great team of people at the shop that get the job done every day, and we've got great customers that let us do our thing, and it's a fun industry.
You get to drive around like awesome cars like this all day long, and you get to build them and learn them and teach them.
It's a fun industry, it really is. And, you know, people have choices, so we work really hard at trying to design the right parts, manufacture it the right way, ship it the right way, and just do the right deal. And it's a hard job, but we have fun doing it.
I have no idea if any of the audio is going to be usable because this car is a little loud. It's got some noises. It sounds like you got like a vacuum leak or something. You know?
Plug wear off.
Yeah. With the number 1 and the number 5 cylinder plug unplugged.
But it's a very easy car to drive. You know, the performance capability of this car, it's really awesome to ride in. I've driven it from here to Texas before, raced it, and you know, it's done about everything you would want to do with a street car. It's been one of my favorites.
I can't believe, you know, it even just the small little bit of riding I've done is just how planted it feels. It doesn't really have any body roll at all. It's like I can't imagine what this thing pulls on the skid pad. How many G's?
It's over 1, you know, depending on the tires. We run the Rival S from BF Goodrich, very sticky tire. 200 tread wear tires, so it's legal on the streets, but as close as you can get to a race tire with tread on it too.
Yeah. So it's like right down the road from here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you like the muscle stuff. Is there anything you love other than this kind of stuff?
Oh, you know, I love muscle cars. Obviously, that's what we make our living at, but I still love traditional hot rods. I love off-road racing. I love Bonneville. Anything with 4 wheels and goes fast, I like.
So you gonna stick to like perfecting the American muscle car?
We are. You know, we still have a growing product line, so we'll continue to expand into like the square body Chevrolet truck parts, more and more into the 80s and 90s trucks and cars. We still have a long list to go up with. Still show you around.
There's no way he kept up in that truck.
He said it was stopped by a school bus too.
So twist open. Awesome. It's almost like there's instructions on it. if I could read it, it'd help. What took you so long, man? So we're at Gear FX. Now these guys are the ones building me my rear end for my 73, and yeah, we're gonna go meet Fuzzy.
Yeah, let's check it out. See what we can find him.
Alex Shell. Thank you, sir. It smells like transmission fluid.
Smells like your transmission, right?
Is there a bell? Can I ring?
We'll take a shortcut.
I don't know, man. Talk about a parts warehouse.
I told them they were on the way. We've got a few gears and transmissions and things like that.
That looks cool.
So yeah, we do, of course, a lot of Ford 9-inches. We build the housings here, tube the housings, all TIG welded. Do 9-inch, 12 bolts, Miatas. We've done a little bit of everything. So
it seems like the Ford 9 seems to be like the standard and the pinnacle of what everyone wants.
it's the staple, you know. I mean, because you know you can see racks of these Ford 9-inch gears here. We do that because
These are all Ford 9?
Those are all Ford 9-inch gears and different gear ratios. So we supply a lot of NASCAR teams still the gears week to week. So different tracks, different rules you have at the tracks and gear ratios. So we have a lot of different options available.
And these are all just different gear ratios.
All different gear ratios.
And they're listed too. Look at that.
Yep.
275s and then
So there's some super speedway gears.
325s.
Gears. Of course, we have what we need for our day-to-day use too on the track, and we did this really so that we could supply the street aftermarket, right? Automotive aftermarket with quiet, consistent quality ring and pinions.
There's also an art to it too. I mean, I know for a fact that you know your stuff, but one thing that I started learning about was when I was getting ready to build the car, before I had obviously come in contact with these guys, I considered trying to shim my own gears and learn how to do it. And I started doing research, and I was like, no, heck no. I'm gonna go to professionals.
Experience. And speaking of experience, this is
Are you Fuzzy, man? It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I'm Dan.
Well,
Pleasure to
nice
meet you, man.
So we'll start out with a quarter wall Ford 9-inch center here, or in the case of what we're doing with you, a 12-bolt casting, and we'll get just the centers in.
I'm sure everyone's gonna have comments like,
Yeah.
Dan, why didn't you go with the 9-inch? Because everyone goes with 9 inches, right? Like that's like I was saying earlier. These are probably like
it's
the standard.
It is. It's a little easier to change ratios.
But for my application, I'm not going to be swapping my ratios out consistently, and the 10 and 12 bolt will be more than enough. Because this is 12 bolt.
That's 12 bolt.
I think
Yeah,
I
that'll
have a
that'll be
10.
plenty. You have a 10 in the car right now. That 12 bolt will hold just about anything you'll ever get into on your own.
And I'm not going to go crazy. Can we weld the diff while we're here? Can we get us up a drift car?
Yeah. But anyways, we get 3-inch tubing in. We have it centerless ground, so that it takes the mill slag off the outside. That allows us, when we TIG weld, that allows us to get a cleaner weld.
Yeah.
We don't have to clean off all the areas. It already comes in clean.
Just nice and shredded, ready to go.
But in the case of the 12 bolts,
And you do all these weldings yourself?
yeah.
Man, that's
We've got
gorgeous.
A welder, his name's Eric, and he's pretty stellar.
Look at those clean welds. And then, yeah, no, I'm following you.
This is one of our finished units right here.
And that's a 9. It's
That's
Ford
a
9.
Ford 9-inch with a Detroit Speed quadrillink set on it.
There's going to be a lot of people, I'm sure, wondering what a Ford 9-inch is. If they're not familiar with stuff, they're going to wonder what it is. Obviously, a Ford 9-inch is your rear end, your axle. But what makes a Ford 9 a Ford 9, for instance?
The ring gear
Okay.
size is basically 9 inches. It's been around forever. It's what's used in NASCAR racing. All these red Ford 9-inch center sections here, third members, are from our NASCAR lease fleet.
Oh, these are all NASCAR. Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, we've got 200 of these complete units in stock that we rotate through our NASCAR lease fleet.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why there's all this safety wire on them. Because they can't come out during the track, you got to safety wire them.
Yeah, they have oil pumps on them as well. Crew guys can change them pretty quick. They use floater axles, so they just got to pull the axles out, drop the drive shaft, and change it. I think they can probably do a gear change in about 20 minutes, but they don't have to do them as quick anymore just because.
That's really cool. I had no idea it'd become so streamlined where you could just pop out the whole thing and then pop the new one in.
And that's the convenience of the Ford 9-inch over a 10 bolt or a 12 bolt or a Dana. Approved 4-speed transmission that's also in our lease fleet. They lease their drivetrain components just like they lease their engines. Send our delivery truck out. We'll drop off a transmission and gears for 2 or 3 races ahead of what the race schedule is. And then on the Tuesday after the race, we go and we pick up everything that's been run and bring it back here and service it.
Oh, you lease it out? That, I never even would have thought of that.
They're an approved part. They all had to have gone through a vetting, inspection, and approval process by NASCAR. Fourth gear is 1-to-1, so it's just directly through the transmission. First, second, and third gears you can change pretty much any ratio you want. Third gear has a 1.28 regulation on it. We're focused on Kyle Busch's truck team. We've got a couple of ARCA teams, and then we've got a couple of other one-off things. So due to the amount of inventory and the way NASCAR's changed over the last 5 years or so, we've scaled back from what we're doing, and we're focusing more on the high-performance aftermarket.
So like people like me.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're taking a break from NASCAR because they got tired of dominating so much. They had to pull back and make parts for cars like me.
This is an A-body, GM A-body housing. It's a Ford 9-inch, but it's our A-body housing. This housing here is one we did for a Speed Core, if you're familiar with them. Some Ride Tech brackets, and we've got some more with Detroit Speed brackets on it as well.
Is this the thing you're telling me about that I'm going to have to weld myself, or these parts?
It's similar. I could show you the leaf spring purchase on our display.
Is that pretty easy to mess up?
No, that's pretty. I think it's pretty.
We're
going to
do the adjustable, the bolt-on
clamps. So
Right.
we have for them, so we'll put them on there. And yeah, I think
So
it's pretty
you'll just have to dial it in.
I'll figure it out. I'll just Google it.
with their motorsports history and everything they know about making the best gear possible, we can put that in the street market now, so we can ensure that when we send a gear out, I mean, they'll dyno it here, and you get a sheet that tells you the decibel rating, so you know how.
What? You guys,
Yo, yeah.
God, you guys sound like just an infomercial. I couldn't be more stoked to have these guys' products on my stuff.
And if you
NASCAR
order
quality
now-
rear end. And if you
order now,
15 payments.
So this is an open diff out of a Ford 9-inch. So basically, this is just one wheel's going to spin. So this is your standard one wheel burnout open differential, and then this differential unit over here, True Track, and that's what we're going to put in your car.
True Track. Okay, so the both wheels will be able to hook and stuff.
Right. A standard posi track has clutch plates in it, and as the differential in your left and right rear tires change, the axle gears try to spread apart, and they clamp onto those clutch plates, and that's what locks everything together. A True Track uses these worm gears here; those push themselves out and lock everything together. So that's you don't need to use a friction modifier in the oil with these.
Like you would clutch plates, essentially.
Right. A word like Kleenex. Right.
Or like Pro Charger. Everyone's like, oh, that's a Pro Charger. Well, technically it's a centrifugal supercharger. Okay, gotcha.
Right. It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, so it's just one of those brand names that caught on so well that that's what everyone calls it. Is it an on and off kind of like thing? It's like both wheels, or is it like?
It's a bit of a progressive. This is in all of our Ford 9-inch builds and our 12-bolt builds, unless a customer specifically asks for something different. It's really good for autocross. It's fine
What about
for drag
burnouts?
racing. For burnouts.
Oh man, we're in like Flint, as my dad would say. Whoa, these look like polished chrome.
The polish process that we use here is called REM, isotropic surface finishing.
Whoa.
And so the parts go in, and they're the normal.
I didn't even ask you if it was okay to touch it. I just started touching it. I'm assuming it's okay.
It's okay. We'll go back over it with cotton gloves later.
It's just so, it looks so good. I could eat off of it.
It reduces friction. It reduces stress risers. It increases performance.
Well, these are all steel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And normally are they cast, or are they?
Both, a little bit of both. It depends what type of transmission it is.
I mean, usually when casting is done, it's got terrible
Porosity.
surface.
It's
It's got hella
porosity.
super porosic.
Yeah.
Porosic? I know it has a lot of porosity.
It's
yeah.
porous.
Porous. Vocabulary, guys.
Because it has porosity.
You guys have a lot of vernacular. There's nothing on here. It's so smooth, and like you said, that makes sense on why it would reduce friction and tension.
This machine does it.
Yes. Okay. I've used a similar machine for brass, for firearms.
Yes.
When it comes to polishing
For
brass.
polishing.
Yeah. This is the exact.
So this vibratory bowl
super subsonic, like vibrates really fast.
Yeah. All these different shapes, or this recipe of shapes, very good for doing gear teeth and shafts. That's why we've got this particular mix in here. But there's no abrasive in this particular medium.
Could I do gun parts?
Yes, we have done several of our own.
That's so satisfying. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm a kid in the store, or like a playground again, you know?
Stuff like that is how he got his nickname.
Fuzz? Oh yeah, how'd you get your nickname, Fuzzy?
I told him
I don't think I can tell you.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's
yeah.
random.
Yeah. So this is
So this is our Ford 9-inch gear braking rig, an electric motor that drives up through an old Rankin NASCAR transmission through a 4-inch NASCAR drive shaft.
Now, will that show you drivetrain loss as well?
No,
It's just to
any efficiencies, but we are measuring.
make sure that it'll hold up to the stress.
We'll measure rolling torque before it goes in, and then we monitor the heat rise, we monitor sound, and then we'll measure the rolling torque after it's done.
All right, so so when you're doing customer stuff, you said, goes over here to the parts cleaners, and then
Then we'll rinse it off in a hot wash here, and under this machine, which is a magnetic particle inspection machine. It's Magnaflux, and that's what most people call the process, is Magnaflux.
what in the world? This looks so dangerous. It looks like you're operating out of a cave in Iraq right here.
Basically apply a current to a part in different directions. It puts a magnetic field on the part.
we have a solution here that has particles in it that glow in the dark. So what happens is wherever there's a crack, that's a break in the magnetic field, and the particles will line up on that.
So you can see if it's cracked?
You get a black light, and you can see where it's cracked. So this part right here, see those cracks right there?
Oh,
those straight lines right there?
Those are cracks?
Those are cracks.
How does it crack like that, straight?
Well, so this is actually a brand new input shaft, and this whole batch was like this. Most likely laying down like this in heat treat, and they bowed in heat treat. So when the vendor went to check them and they were bent, they probably rested it between two V-blocks and pushed on it here, and it cracked the other side as it bent, because you got to bend it past where it is.
Right.
And it cracked.
So, oh, okay.
I can tell you that this is 9310 AQ steel.
Just by holding it?
I'm
assuming there's
that would be pretty impressive.
As a lot, it's on Facebook.
You can buy all this stuff on Facebook? Well, Fuzzy and the guys over at Detroit Speed wanted me to let you guys know that this place is open. Probably walk in here if you got some gear effect related needs or problems. They do a lot of really cool stuff here. So stop by. This is Fuzzy. He's really nice to let me come around his shop and like touch stuff and be like, what's this? And obviously Alex won't be here because he'll be too busy at the Detroit Speed stuff, like not working.
Go around with alcohol wipes now and clean everything off, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I would. You know that black light you guys used earlier? Don't use that.
Wait, what?
All this right here.
All of this shit?
All of it.
What the hell?
So you've got your tubs, your leaf springs, your control arms, your shocks, brackets.
Yeah, okay, this was the guy we just met with, the GRI guy.
Yep. Yeah. That was
Dude,
it.
that guy was really nice.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
I need to send him an email when I get home saying thanks for being so chill.
Yeah, and like I said, they're big in motorcycle. They're big here, off road. They do pretty much everything. We've been working with them since the beginning. So
I guess we just load it, right?
yeah,
Just gotta load it for you.
Yeah, and then I'll be with.
You guys close at 4?
Yeah.
What are these those tub things? Like what I got?
Yeah, so this right here, these are Chevy 2 tubs. So they're for a Chevy 2 Nova. But essentially it's the same thing you got. It's a stand.
Look at these. This is what I need, man. I need something just like a well, I don't really need but I need this one, the Dynasty 400. I need the 400, you're right. No, I think you're right. I think I need the Dynasty 400.
Yeah. It's TIG only though.
Perfect. I got a MIG, it's fine.
You know.
See, this is what I wouldn't learn to, or what I wouldn't give to learn how to use something like this for body work and stuff.
That's cool, like tunnels.
I mean, is it pretty hard to learn?
Yeah, that's not bad.
For like transmission tunnels, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that you blocked off the
no marker lights.
Yeah.
how hard is that to do? Pretty easy? Or
Yeah, it's easy.
you just cut a piece out, weld it in place, smooth it out?
Yep.
See, I know that I can do that, right? Like I know that I can do that myself.
Like they're they're low heat. They won't build up as much. Because I mean, if you do heat this up too much, it'll warp and it'll look funky.
Yeah.
So
The biggest problem is gonna be the welding.
people will comment on like our install videos, and they'll say like, why is he like? Because we'll stitch weld it, but it's like you just do bead at a time because you're not trying to introduce as much heat. One guy's like, why isn't he just running it? Because if you just run it like that,
It's gonna warp. Like, have you never used a welder? Like,
It'll warp.
yeah. So I probably shouldn't tackle that with MIG.
You could do it. I mean, it's totally possible. The nice thing about TIGging it is when you TIG it, you can hammer it out real nice. So like a MIG, you won't get it quite finish that smooth.
Just
I mean,
loving.
It's tedious. It's a lot of work.
I mean, I don't really. It's neat, I guess.
This is actually a California truck.
I mean, it's cool, I guess. I mean, it's only spotless and absolutely mint and gorgeous.
There's a lot of really subtle things that you wouldn't normally notice on these, but
It's like a 55?
56.
56. Dang.
They did. Matt and Mark were working on this truck. A lot of, not a lot of, all of them have that body line that goes, this one here goes along, and then the bed drops down. So they've raised the bed up so you can continue that body line, so it's nice and seamless.
Whoa, that is clean. So not only did you raise the bed up a couple inches, but you basically stretched all of the body in the bed to line up with the rest of the truck.
Yep.
So the bed's like a couple inches taller.
Yeah, it is overall.
That is crazy how good those body lines look. You'd never even tell that you'd stretch the fenders or anything.
Yeah, so it's got, you know, it's got about a 4-inch patch added in there and added in there.
You know, I mean, they'll probably throw like cooler and some stuff in the bed.
These wood slats, is it real wood?
That is real wood.
So
That's oak, that's the fuel
bag
cap.
that whole fill door.
Oh, that's so clean. It's even got rubber stops on the bottom. Talk about attention to detail.
Yep, a detent up, so it actually
locks it.
Yeah. These are carriage bolts, but we actually machined caps for them and TIG welded them on and polished them so you don't see.
So to get them, you just pop off the top of them, and then they'd be the rest of the bolt underneath them, assuming.
Yep, basically. Even stuff like this, you know, from the factory, this was just sheet metal, and this was an open hole. So that's a machined plug, and that's all TIG welded in.
Washer on it.
Yeah, we machined those washers. What the fuck? Yeah, so that's why they fit so tight, you know.
Yeah, they're just so.
So the washer's machined, and then you have to machine the outside diameter of the fastener so it sits inside of it.
Diamond stitching, red threads on there.
Yeah. You know, I could probably do that. I could do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll just cut out the whole part of that. But anyway, guys, they let me come. They let me come into the Detroit Speed area in the Gear FX. They were really nice. These gentlemen have been super easy and nice to work with. I'm gonna have to cut off.
You got
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in to today's video. They were super nice to let me come to the Detroit Speed. I got to meet all the cool people I've been talking with, and I mean, they let me just put my hands on anything. I don't think they just let anybody do that, but they said I could have. They said I could have this, and they also said that I could have this car too. You heard it right here, folks. No, it's okay. It's fine. The table's mine too.
Oh, that's dude, hey, if you can carry this out, you can have it.
Really? I gotta carry it though.
You gotta carry it. Dude.
You were so.
Half-inch steel.
I dragged my 350 small block and the transmission, the turbo 350. I dragged it across concrete like a good bit.
Did you have a strap on it?
Yeah, I just had a grip. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
You need to just grab this.
Well, there's nowhere to grab it. But what, the fan, the radiator fan?
It smells so nice in here. You guys keep
it.
I shut y'all down. It looks pitch black.
It's tint, bro. It's that limo tint.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's time to leave. They gave me this truck. Just kidding. They make me take the Ram.
Now that I'm out of earshot, I can finally talk all that shit. Just kidding. No, real talk though, man. I cannot believe how incredibly humbling and exciting it is to be able to work with these dudes. They're super fucking nice and humble, and they have awesome stuff and super welcoming to me in their community and their shops and trustworthy, and I got to do cool stuff today. I mean, I got a box full of freaking Detroit Speed stuff that they gave me. The truck's full too. The bed of the truck's full too. It's just too cool. You know, it's cooler than I deserve.